year. As is now wont with MeitY, we don't like to let you relax even in holiday season. So there's something or the other which is coming up most of the time. And we just felt, I mean, there was a lot of curiosity, a number of questions which many of you have been asking us about the preparations for the AI summit. Can you hear me? Better now? Better now? Okay, let me continue and I don't know. So, is it better? Okay. Technology has its way of letting you down at just the right moment, or the wrong moment. Doesn't matter. I can speak above that. बंद कर दो. बंद कर दो. बंद कर दो. Yeah. Okay. Good. So many of you have been curious about what is the status of preparations for the India AI Summit and what MeitY has been doing in this regard, along with various other ministries and departments of the Government of India. We just thought we would acquaint you with where matters stood. There's a quick presentation that we'll make and then quickly run you through what the key features are. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. As you're well aware, the first of these AI summits was held in the UK in Bletchley Park in November 2023, followed by the summit in Seoul, which was called the AI Innovation Summit. And last year, or actually earlier this year in February, we had the AI Action Summit in France, where the Honorable Prime Minister had also participated. And at that event, he had announced that India would host the next AI summit, and that is to be held in the week from 15th to 20th of February, 2026. And as we have emphasized a number of times, it is the summit has been called the AI Impact Summit, and I will outline why that is so. Also, the scale of many of these summits has grown considerably. In the initial summit, we had about 27 countries which participated, including India, and uh, eventually 28 countries signed the declaration in Bletchley Park. By the time we came to France, it was about 100 plus countries participating in various forms, and that number we expect to better this year in terms of better in the next summit in February 26, because there's been a greater and greater interest as we go along. Next, please. Um, the basic idea and the reason why we've called it the AI Impact Summit and what we are attempting to do here is broadly making sure that AI gets democratized and the AI divide gets bridged. I think this is a key concern which has been there for many people in the international community, that AI could potentially get concentrated in a few geographies and concentrated with a few companies. And the concern is that it needs to be made available more broadly as a horizontal technology to actually support development of humankind as a whole, and to ensure that across the world all countries have access to the various elements of AI, including the infrastructure, whether it is compute, whether it is models, whether it is data, all of those, plus the possible applications. And there again, the idea is if there is broader access, then we can build solutions which would be relevant to specific countries and specific societies and specific communities. To different scenarios, we would be able to build relevant AI solutions. And the idea there again is to build solutions for the productive sectors of the economy to make sure that we have AI solutions which would work significantly in areas such as healthcare, agriculture, governance, education, manufacturing, and so on, so that the benefits of enhanced productivity and efficiency are uh, sort of gained on a much wider scale. So these are some of the key elements. And also, I think internationally we need greater alignment on the kind of standards and the way in which AI governance models themselves work. So these are the purposes with which this particular summit has been called, and the goal that we need to face, or we need to sort of approach AI with a positive mindset as a technology which we can take significant advantage of. Technology, and many people have spoken about the possible downsides, how we sort of protect ourselves against the downsides, and at the same time take significant advantage of it is the key message that we want to push. And inclusion in this overall framework, and inclusion of the global south in particular, led in a sense by India, is a very important element of what's been attempted. And in some ways, India has also made a significant place for itself within the AI discourse. The AI Stanford Vibrancy Index actually rates India as third in the list of countries where there is a vibrant AI ecosystem which is being built. In addition, of course, we are well aware that in terms of the AI talent and human resources, India stands first in terms of skill penetration by as per the Stanford AI Index as well. So the notion that India can contribute significantly to democratizing and decentralizing AI is something that we would like to emphasize. Next, please. We have sent out invitations to more than close to about 140 countries. We are expecting more than 100 countries to participate in the event. We've received a number of confirmations. We expect about more than 100 global AI leaders, including CSOs, CXOs, leading academics, and other thinkers in the space. Um, we are having a large number of high impact events, both in terms of pre events, which are going on even as we speak. More than 310 events have been held in the last 140 days, almost more than two events a day across the world in different destinations at different locations. And likewise, even alongside the main AI summit, in that week, we are expecting close to about 800 events to be held. A number of agencies have come forward wanting a number of side events to be held. There are expected to be about 15 plus specific and tangible deliverables out of the summit that we are working towards. We expect close to about 150,000 people to attend these events, including the AI Expo and the various other events that are being held. Next, please. The pre summit events thus far. Next, please. We've had, as I said, 300 plus pre summit events in the last 140 days. There have been 57 international events and more being held. There have been events held in 25 states across the country, in more than 100 cities. Already more than a lakh and a half, 150,000 people have participated in these events. There are a further 150 approved events in the pipeline, and more events, more people are coming forward to hold events as we speak. So I wouldn't be surprised if the total number of events we will have held by the time all this is done exceeds 500. Next, please. These are some of the international events which have been held. As you can see, they've been held in New York, Cape Town, Kuala Lumpur, Nairobi, London. I have myself attended events in Brussels, in New York, and also in Singapore. There is an event to be held later in Berlin. We've been in events in Norway, in Oslo, and across the world, there have been a number of events which have been held in the recent past. Next. In addition, in India itself, we've had events in Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi. These, of course, are the main events. We've had events in Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh. We've had events all the way in the Northeast, even in Kohima, in Nagaland. So we've had events across the country. Next, please. Now, what are the major flagship events that are going to be held next? You see, there are three major global challenges which have been launched thus far. One is AI for all, and we have received close to 1,350 applications, and 21% of them are international. This is a kind of AI solutions which are to be built and which would be showcased. Likewise, AI by Her, which is mainly focused at women in an inclusive manner, is about 800 plus applications, and about 17% of those applications are international. And Yuva AI, which is by youth between 13 and 20, the ages of 13 and 20, more than 2,500 applications, 10% of them from across the world. We've had so far about 15,500 registrations from 136 countries, and 76 of these countries are from the global south, which is why it has been seen as such a major event for the global south. And for many of these events, we also have financial rewards and prizes having been announced for those solutions which win the prizes. And there's been a fair amount of excitement around this. Many companies and others and VCs and others have also come together to see what kind of outcomes will come from these competitions which have been launched. Next. All of these will culminate, all of these three flagship events will culminate in the final week, and the awards will be given away at that time, and the final rounds of evaluation will be held when that event takes place. And as you can see, in terms of the geographical split of the submissions we've brought, significant numbers, of course, from India, which is about 4,000, about 390 from Africa, 66 from Europe, 99 from North America, and 27 from South America. So we've had across the world a number of countries which have come in. There have been 136 international registrations and 84 submissions from overseas. Next, please. In addition, there's been a research symposium which is being curated by IIIT Hyderabad, which is basically showcasing the kind of cutting edge AI research that is happening both in India and in the global south. The idea is to provide a high visibility platform which scholars and researchers in the AI space in India can actually work on and move forward, and also to showcase India's global thought leadership in this space of responsible, safe, inclusive AI. So far, we've already received about 250 entries under the Global South showcase. More entries are being received. The final round of paper presentations will also be held in the final week between the 15th and the 18th of February 2026. Next, please. Knowledge products as part of the AI Summit are also being curated in partnership with international organizations and also Indian organizations. With Step Foundation, we are doing a casebook for AI in education. With the Vadhani AI Foundation, which works closely with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare here in India, and also on the AgriStack project, AgriStack product here in India, A casebook on AI in agriculture is being developed. With MeitY we are developing a global tech leaders vision document on AI. Now, Yoshua Bengio, who is a leading scientist on AI, has presented the International AI Safety Report in the three previous summits. So he is putting together a report by a scientific panel that he's chairing, which will also be presented during the AI summit. So that is another outcome we are expecting. In addition, a casebook on AI health use cases for the global south is being put together in association with the World Health Organization. And the International Energy Agency is putting together a casebook on real world impact on energy of AI. So that is an important element. And with UN Women, we are putting out a casebook on AI and gender empowerment. One or two more such products also may come out because groups are working on them. And as soon as we have clarity, we would be indicating that as well. Next, please. In addition, in the lead up to the deliverables of the AI summit, which is basically to put together the final leaders declaration, we have seven working groups, seven chakras as we call them. Next, please. Seven themes for these working groups. As you're aware, the overall message is on AI impact, and the AI impact is being measured in terms of people, planet, and progress. Those are the three broad pillars or sutras that we are talking about. And there are these seven themes for the working groups. The first is on AI for economic growth and social good. The second is on democratizing AI resources. Both of these are very positive, forward looking approach to AI in terms of what is it that can be done to ensure that AI contributes to economic growth and social good, and at the same time, it's accessible to broader set of countries. Then inclusion for social empowerment, particularly all the groups which are typically excluded, whether it is whether it is women, whether it is people with disabilities, whether it is the traditionally disadvantaged communities. The idea is how do we socially empower them using AI? Safe and trusted AI continues to be also a critical pillar because we go forward on the basis that we assure that there is a safe that AI can be deployed in a manner that is safe and trusted by everyone. Human capital for AI in terms of how we create the human resources to enable AI and how human resources themselves are going to be shaped by AI and how they need to adapt to this situation is also a key element of the discussion because ultimately, all of this is to be deployed for the benefit of humanity. So, how do we ensure that that is done better? Science, AI, and science is important because some of the critical breakthroughs that we would expect would be in the area of science. So, what is it that AI can do for science and how that interplay works out is a critical element of what we are approaching. In the summit week itself, starting with 15th of February, what are the major events that we are holding? From 15th of February onwards, there's an innovation festival which is to be hosted at the Central Park in Connaught Place. That is going to be the location where people, a lot of footfalls we expect. It's an open venue where people would attend. It's ways in which AI has been used creatively by creators and by a whole host of others in terms of how we can showcase the creative elements of AI, the way it can interact with people, and various parts of it which would be both attractive and educative to a broad cross section of people. It's important to build awareness and build comfort with the way AI itself works. On the 16th of February, from that date onwards, the AI Impacts Expo is expected to uh, be operational. I'll share more details of the expo, but that's going to be hosted at the Bharat Mantapam over a number of halls, over about 70,000 square meters of space, and some more features I will share with you in due course. Then on the 18th evening, there is to be a gala dinner, which is the key first event, and many of the leaders who will be attending the AI summit will assemble for that dinner, which will be hosted by the Honorable Prime Minister. 19th morning will see the formal inaugural of the AI summit with a leaders plenary, where we expect most of the leaders and other ministers to participate in that event. And then later in the evening, there will be a CEO roundtable where the Prime Minister will be interacting with some of the leading CEOs and other leaders who will be participating in the event. Alongside that, on 20th, there would be a ministerial meeting of the Global Partnership on AI. As you're aware, in December 2023, India had hosted the GPAI Ministerial Summit. India was the chair of GPAI that year. And since the ministerial is due to be held, and since many of the countries would be assembling for the AI summit, AI Impact Summit, GPAI Ministerial is being called on the sidelines of that event. And there again, ministers from a number of countries are expected to participate. And then, alongside, of course, as I already told you, starting from the 16th of February, there would be the parallel sessions on, finalizing the final submissions in the three major AI events, that is AI for All, AI, UI AI, and AI by Her, and also the Research Symposium. And there would be all the side events, including keynotes, panels, roundtables. We expect close to between 500 to 600 events being held, primarily at the Bharat Mandapam and also at two or three other subsidiary venues along around Delhi, including the Ambedkar Center on Janpath, the Vigyan Bhavan, and also the Sushma Swaraj complex in Chanakyapuri. So at all of these locations, we would be having these parallel events going on because of the kind of enthusiasm and energy that has been generated. Next, please. The Innovation Festival overview, as I said, is to be held at the Central Park in Connaught Place. And, there is a primary implementation partner and also a knowledge partner, which is the principal scientific advisor. The basic idea is to showcase the kind of creativity that AI enables. And we expect this to be a very dynamic event where a lot of cultural energy will be unleashed, and something which would be highly impactful. Next, please. Then, as I said, summary of the confirmations, we already have about 50 CEOs and founders who have confirmed. We have more than 100 senior academicians and researchers from across the world who have confirmed, chief technology officers and thought leaders and philanthropists in the AI area. There are about 200 who have been confirmed. Overall, about 500 important confirmations, and more are coming in. Right now, in most parts of the world, they are closed for the holidays, but we expect that by about the middle of January, we should have substantially more confirmations as well. Many international leaders, many countries from across the world have also confirmed participation either at the head of state, head of government level, or at a ministerial level. Those numbers are also quite substantial. As I said already, more than 100 countries are expected to be represented. We expect between 15 and 20 countries to be represented at head of state, head of government level, and more than 50 countries at the ministerial level. Next, please. So this is broadly where we stand in terms of the preparations and what to expect from the event. There are We expect that the build-up has been quite substantial. Many agencies and others have been quite interested and excited about the event. We also think that the participation is extremely enthusiastic. We keep getting inquiries, keep getting queries from a very broad cross section of people, and I think it should really help us showcase what is happening in the AI space and how we can actually put it out there for a broader cross section of people to really absorb. It's also an opportunity for people in this country, in India, across the country, to really identify with what the government is doing in the AI space, and way in which they can actually join up with all of this, understand it, and see what it means for them. So thank you. If there are questions, I'll take it.
Sure. Yeah. Start from one side.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. So I'm just looking from mentioned that two countries will be joining the US series for the first time. There's a sense of which these countries are.
We are expecting a number of countries in the global south who have not joined previously to come and join, including from Africa and Latin America.
And about the 20 countries who are expected to be represented at the state level.
No, one or two we can name because we have clear confirmations like France and so on, but more countries will come up. And yeah.
Will India be seeking to join the Bank Silicon initiative as part of the summit, or is that something?
No, that is something which we are bilaterally talking to the Americans. Thank you. Any more questions from here? Anyone? Okay, can we move this way? Nobody here? Yeah. Yeah, there's been a substantial outreach through the Ministry of External Affairs to many countries in the global south. We've been doing a substantial outreach even through the UN organizations. There's a UN event which began, they hosted it in New York in terms of building a network of centers of excellence across the world. And we were the first ones to commit, saying that we committed the IIT Madras Center as our Center for International Capacity Building in AI. And the first meeting was held in IIT Madras last month. The next meeting is due to be held in January in Dakar, Senegal, to which we've been invited, and we expect that that will also give us an opportunity to reach out much more to countries in Africa, which we've already been doing through our missions, and also to countries in Latin America. Yes, I mean, we are expecting a large number of CEOs to join, but that is not the primary push in that regard. I think we've already seen announcements from some of the global majors on the kind of investments they are making in data centers and so on in India, which is primarily oriented towards AI. So that is already happening. But that is an incidental benefit. That is not the primary focus of what we are looking at. What we are looking at, as I said, is fundamentally on impact and inclusion. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'll just come back. Guest of honor. Well, I mean, there's no concept of a guest of honor. Normally, in all of these events, those who were previously hosted, the immediate preceding host, and a possible future host, which we don't know what's going to happen next, they participate in the event, but we don't have a formal guest of honor as such. No, he is also expected to join the event, but I mean, all of them are honored guests. So we wouldn't like to single out, when so many heads of government and heads of state and leaders of international organizations are expected to join, it's difficult to single out one of them as, yeah. I mean, okay. First, the Prime Minister, we hope, will be inaugurating the expo. We then expect that he will be hosting a dinner on the evening of the 18th, or whenever it is convenient, based on convenience. He will be there for the leaders, he'll be there for the opening ceremony on the 19th, the leaders' plenary on the 19th, and the CEO's roundtable on the 19th. These would be the major events where we expect the Prime Minister to be present. Well, we have some confirmations. We have confirmations from Bill Gates. We have confirmations from Demis Hassabis, who's the CEO of Google DeepMind. We have confirmations from Daria Amadi, CEO of Anthropic, Shantanu Narayan, CEO of Adobe, um, Mark Benioff, CEO of Salesforce, Cristiano Amon, CEO of Qualcomm, then Raj Subramaniam, CEO of FedEx. These are some of the names where we already have confirmations. Um, we also have tentative indications from a few others, leading CEOs. Well, we would expect, I mean, first and foremost, I think it's important that we get everybody on board. And I think that is an important aim that we are working towards. Um, Again, the idea is to enable to build some sort of a consensus on some of the key questions around AI, which the entire world is grappling towards. And I think one very, very constructive thing which has happened is the way the focus has shifted from the first AI summit, which is primarily about AI safety, to this summit, which is primarily looking at impact and is forward looking in terms of all the positive benefits that can be generated. So, ways in which the leaders' declaration can support that, ways in which it can support the inclusion agenda in terms of making sure that there's greater democratization of AI resources and AI access to those resources. I mean, these would be some of the key elements that we expect. A way forward in these would be some of the key elements in the leaders' declaration. Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead. I think on the we are working hard towards trying to see if we can have a few of Indian models. We'll see if that actually works out. So it's really for the teams which are working on it to come out with something either before or timed with the summit. So we're keeping fingers crossed and hope that everything comes together. As far as the declaration itself is concerned, yes, we would like to see, a consensus declaration with everyone being part of it. I think that will be an important outcome. And in terms of policy, some sort of understanding, some global understanding on how we can all move forward together. Yeah, yeah, please. No, like I said, I think getting out at this point in time an actual declaration which has consensus is a very, very important and key deliverable. The second key deliverable is if there's a global understanding on how we can make AI resources more easily accessible. That would be a second key understanding. Third key element is, you saw all those documents which are being put together, those 6 or 7 documents. That is being done with the global south in mind in terms of how resources can actually be deployed and how there's a way forward in terms of applications and so on. In the AI Expo, there would be an opportunity for many companies, Indian companies, global companies, startups, to showcase really the kind of AI solutions that have been built and the AI applications that have been built. If they get a greater, runway in order to make sure that they're able to offer their services more widely, I think that will be a huge outcome. and enabling both people in India and scholars, researchers, students, innovators in India to have an opportunity to see all of this and gain from it would be again a very important outcome that we would see. Likewise, if Indian companies are able to showcase some of these solutions for the rest of the world, that will also be an important. Yeah. See, I mean, you see, we've not done away with the theme on safe and trusted AI. I think it continues to be important, and I think the approach that India has taken, and which I think finds increasing favor around the world, is stay alert to what is needed, but don't don't start with regulation. Start with allowing innovation to happen. I think that's an approach which has found broad consensus acceptance around the world. So the AI safety, that aspect will continue to sort of resonate in that sense. We've not said that we won't talk about it at all. We have to talk about all of these issues, but we need to be aware that innovation and moving forward and harnessing AI for productive purposes needs to be the first priority. Yeah, Ashmit, you had a question. Okay, the working groups have met, and there's been extensive, that's something I forgot to mention. There's been extensive participation in each of the working groups. Each working group has, in addition to an Indian co chair, they have two co chairs, typically drawn one from the global south and one from the global north. So we have 14 co chairs across the seven working groups. They are to hold a total of four meetings, three of them virtual and one of them hybrid. And they've held, all of them have held at least two working group meetings thus far. Some have held three, including the hybrid meeting. And in each of the working groups, the participation has been beyond 40. And in some of the working groups, almost 80 countries have participated. They're also being supported by some knowledge partners who are providing them inputs, and we are channeling inputs from civil society organizations, from academic groups, and other specifically in terms of technology transfer or signing deals or signing agreements on those lines is not something which is topmost on the agenda. It happens. Some of those things happen on the sidelines. That's a different issue, but that's not the main. We are creating a platform through Startup India and MeitY Startup Hub and various other entities, so that innovators and others who want to make a pitch, we create that platform, and that it's primarily we are facilitating. That's it. Yeah, please. Yeah, I'll come back to you. Yeah. See, I think as far as this event itself is concerned, we want it to be as broadly participative as possible. And I think the key players in AI need to be at the table in order to discuss and in order for the entire process to be meaningful. And I think nobody would disagree if one said that the United States and China are the two leading countries in the AI space. So having both of them participate in an AI event, I think, is significant and important. So that is the angle from which you need to see this. I mean, we are creating a common forum. Countries compete, countries also collaborate, countries also cooperate. So it depends. I mean, there are a range of areas. We also need to understand each other's perspectives and points of view on a variety of areas. So that is a platform which we are attempting to create through this process. So one is that aspect of it. The other aspect, as far as pax silica and so on is concerned, that's an ongoing process of discussion between India and the United States. It takes place at multiple levels. It takes place in the MEA. It takes place um, in the at the NSA level. In addition, there are aspects of that dialogue with which MeitY is also concerned with, the technical aspects. So that is an ongoing process. Yeah, yeah. See, since we are looking at democratization of AI resources as an important goal, then we need to have some sort of understanding as to how countries of the global south will gain access to some of these resources at, at affordable prices. So that is one of the things that we would like to work towards. Yeah. Yes, please. See, you saw that thing on resilience, right? You saw working group on resilience. Fundamentally, ultimately, a lot of AI is about energy and power. So, access to energy and power is going to be an important part of whatever gets discussed, and how we sort of go about it is an important part of the discussion. So, we have to explore every kind of technology. Yes. Okay. Nothing from you guys? Okay. Yeah. See, I think that human capital vertical in this is primarily focused on this issue. One part is how do you prepare the workforce, and the other part is how is the workforce likely to be impacted. Um, you know, One aspect for the global south, which is true for India and for most of the global south, is the kind of jobs that would get impacted first by AI, unlike in the case of previous waves of the industrial revolutions, are cognitive jobs and knowledge oriented jobs, which previously were not impacted so much. It was basically manual jobs which got impacted a lot more. That being the case, given that the total number of white collar jobs in the global south, by and large, and in India specifically, are significantly lower than in other parts of the world, um, the immediate impact in that sense is likely to be a little more muted in the aggregate. But having said that, I think it's also important to recognize two things. One, that for a country like India, which has a fairly large IT sector, we'll really need to pivot, and we'll have to figure out a way by which we can see that our IT workforce is able to adapt to the new reality. And instead of tasks which they performed previously of coding and programming and so on, try to see whether they can build more applications and deploy more applications. So those could be the opportunities. So there could be newer job opportunities, is the way we read it. This is what industry also tells us in our interactions with them, and which then means that reskilling and upskilling a substantial portion of that workforce is very important. So that becomes an important area that we approach. The second possibility is, I mean, we assume that the delivery of services and all of those deliverable levels will stay where we are today, and therefore you can do that with far fewer resources. The other way to look at it is that you can deliver um, far superior services to what you're delivering now, and more services than what you're delivering now, and that provides you the opportunity to actually absorb more people into the workforce. And I think that is another possibility which needs to be certainly explored. So this is the direction in which we would like, from a policy perspective, to take it. Yes, please. Yes, very much so. We are awaiting. We have some tentative confirmations or tentative word from them, but we are awaiting final confirmation. Google, of course, I already mentioned Google DeepMind CEO is expected to be present, but yes, even others from Google. Yeah, thank you.